A few months ago, I told you not to buy any smart glasses yet because there are too many good ones and there was no clear winner at the time. Well, it's been 6 months since that video and I have acquired as many smart glasses as I can and I've kept testing and I am now finally ready to tell you a verdict. I am starting with cinematic glasses or entertainment glasses, essentially glasses that you plug in for movies or gaming and you get a nice giant screen. These all do the same core trick. You plug them into your phone, your Steam Deck, your Nintendo Switch, and your laptop, basically anything that sends video out via a USB-C. And consoles work too. I actually use Viture's $99 dock that allows me to connect to my Nintendo Switch too. So now instead of a 6-inch screen in your hands, you get a 200-inch screen right in front of your face. The question is, which one is right for you? Because there is no single winner. There is no one size fits all. There is a right answer for movie people, for people who want to use it for work, people who want to use it to travel. There are so many different options and I'm going to walk you through every single one. And there's also a couple that I just don't think is worth wasting your money on. In fact, the cheapest option that I have in my lineup went head to head against one of the most expensive ones on a real person, my friend, and I'm still not over the feedback that he gave me on these two. But before we get into any of the picks, let's go over some of the spec sheets first. So one of the numbers that I see brands competing on is brightness of the screen. Everyone is trying to get the highest nits possible on their spec sheet. But the thing is, most of the time when I'm using any of these glasses, I'm usually in bed at night and I'm just trying to relax and unwind. So very often when I've put on these glasses, it's completely blinded me because they are way too bright. I don't even use almost any of these glasses in the brightest setting because it's just way too bright. So on the spec sheet, the in-ear glasses is not as bright as the Roku Max 2 or any of these other glasses, but I found that that actually doesn't really matter because all the other glasses are way too bright already. There is one specific use case though, where the brightness does matter. And that's if you are using these outside in the sun. Again, for me, I use them either at home, in bed at night when it's dark, or in a cafe, but I don't just sit outside in the bright sun using them. So for the most part, nits is not really a deciding factor. However, the one thing that will actually make a difference in how you use these glasses is how the glasses block out the light around you. Now, for the more premium glasses like Viture, in-ear, or XR1, and even the XREAL glasses, they all have electrochromic dimming, meaning that you don't need to use any covers on them, and some of them even dim automatically. Now for some of the more budget-friendly glasses, like the RayNeo Air 4 Pro, you will need to snap on a light blocker. This is the same with the Roku Max 2. Now, just keep in mind, having the electrochromic dimming built into the glasses is part of the reason why other glasses are much more expensive than the Roku Max 2 and the RayNeo Air 4 Pro. By the way, this is just episode 1 of me giving out verdicts on smart glasses. The next one will be on AI glasses. Then after that, it will be on the heads-up display glasses or glasses that have a display in them. So if you want a verdict before spending your money, make sure to subscribe because I am testing them all out so you don't have to. Now here's something else that I've seen on the spec sheet, which is the weight of the glasses. And after testing all of these glasses out, they're all between 75 and 88 grams. And in general, the weight of any of these glasses has not really bothered me during longer use cases. Now I am a VR gamer, so for me, all of these glasses feel really light. What actually decides how comfortable the glasses are is actually going to be the fit of the nose. And again, all of them, I didn't really feel too much of a difference between. They all felt more or less on par with each other when it comes to comfort. A lot of them come with swappable nose pads so you can find a good fit. But just 2 notes on the comfort. So the Roku Max 2 actually has like an air cushion for the nose pad, which makes it quite comfortable. And then on the flip side, the most budget-friendly option or the cheapest option of the bunch, the RayNeo Air 4 Pro, probably has the most uncomfortable nose pads that I've felt. I wouldn't say any of the nose pads is groundbreaking. It's just something to know that getting the fit of the RayNeo Air 4 Pro and the comfort just takes a little bit more effort than the other glasses in this series. Another one to know is the XREAL Pro actually has pretty adjustable nose pads, which can obviously improve the comfort and the fit. Now, the other fit question is prescriptions. So if you have prescriptions like me with my astigmatism, this may be a really important piece of information for you. There are 2 glasses in this lineup that have diopters built into the glasses themselves. So this one is the Viture Luma Ultra, and you can see that it has these dials to adjust your prescriptions. And then this one is the Rokid Max 2. Again, it has these dials that adjust for your prescription. What's nice about these is that if you have other friends or people that want to try them out and they wear glasses, you can easily let multiple people try out your glasses or use them. For all the other glasses, you do need to get prescription inserts. Luckily, prescription inserts aren't too expensive now because I have tested the ones by VR. They make the least expensive prescriptions that I've seen around for VR and smart glasses, and you can use my code Jasmine to save even more. Okay, now back to the head-to-head. When my friend tried out both the RayNeo Air 4 Pro and also the Viture Beast glasses. So my friend is a developer and he told me that his dream is to be able to code while laying down. Anyway, so I decided to give him the Viture Beast because I love these glasses. I think they have amazing visuals and I tend to take them with me whenever I travel. So I gave him these to test out. Then of course I wanted them back after a certain point. So I let him borrow my RayNeo Air 4 Pro in the meantime. The Viture Beast is $549 and the RayNeo Air 4 Pro is $249, more than half the price. And the next time I saw him, he told me that he actually prefers the RayNeo Air 4 Pro glasses over the Viture Beast. And his reason kind of blew me away because I didn't expect this to be the case. So the Viture Beast is great because it is 3 degrees of freedom right off the bat. And that means that the screen will stay in front of you and you can like look to the left and right, have multiple screens across and you can look around them and they will stay in their fixed position. The RayNeo glasses, however, is 0 degrees of freedom, meaning that it is always stuck in front of your face. So if you turn your head this way, it's in front of your face. And if you turn your head this way, the screen is always in front of your face in the same exact location. So he actually prefers a 0 degree of freedom glasses because he's lazy and doesn't like having to turn his head. And you know what? That makes sense. If he's using these glasses to code while laying down, why would you want to turn your head over and over? And to be honest, the graphics and the color and the vividness of the RayNeo is beautiful and the audio is amazing. So he's been having a really great time with them. It's interesting because I've seen comments saying because a pair of glasses has less features that it must be subpar. And that's what I don't like, because if you do not care about using glasses for reading text or work purposes, the RayNeo Air 4 Pro is unbeatable for the price and the quality of the screen and the audio. So that's my first verdict for you. If you are the type of person that likes to relax and just watch something, the RayNeo Air 4 Pro at $249 is a fantastic pick for you. Now, if you want a pair of glasses that work with no phone and no laptop attached and still be able to get a very amazing entertainment system, then I have to recommend the ugliest of the glasses, which is the Rokid Max 2. This is the Rokid Max 2, and they are hideous, but they are the lightest and they're incredibly comfortable. And for the price of one pair of glasses, you can actually buy this entire kit, which includes the Rokid Station. Now, this Rokid Station plugs into the glasses and you can watch all of your shows, use all of the apps, and not have to tie up your phone in order to use your glasses. It's not the prettiest, but it is the best phone-free movie setup of the bunch. One more travel story, and this is the reason that the Viture Beast glasses go with me everywhere on my trips. If you have a Switch 2 and you want to be able to play on a massive screen anywhere, especially while you travel. The Switch 2 in all of my testing only works with the Viture mobile dock. And then you plug in your Switch 2 into the dock, and you can plug in your Viture Beast glasses, and suddenly you have a very mobile, incredibly private entertainment system. All the other glasses work just fine with a Steam Deck, but if you are a Switch 2 person, you need to use the Viture mobile dock. On their website, it says this works with other pairs of glasses. I've tried it with my RayNeo glasses, for example. It does not transmit my Switch 2, so I would just recommend, if you do want to play Switch 2, just get the Viture Beast glasses and this, because you know that this combo will absolutely work. This dock is $99. Now, if you're someone who wants to replace your laptop setup with glasses and you just want to have an incredible workstation no matter where you go, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because all of these glasses are competing with their own mobile computing device. So for the in-ear, it comes with the in-ear pod, which looks like this. For Viture, they have their Viture neckband, again, a mobile computing device, which looks like this. And even XREAL has their Beam Pro. Now, I haven't really talked too much about the XREAL Aura because those have not yet launched publicly, but I have tested them, and I did an hour-long private demo with a bunch of the engineers helping me out. Very cool experience. So I will talk about that separately from this. But when it comes to being able to actually replace your laptop and work comfortably while traveling, the absolute worst pair of glasses of the bunch is also the company that makes the best computing system. Again, not counting XREAL Aura in this lineup. And that is the in-ear pod. Let me explain first why the in-ear 2 Pro glasses are not great. And it is for one reason only. The field of view is the worst. It's so tiny. It looks like you're looking at a little tiny hole. And the graphic quality in itself is great. Everything else is great. Man, the FOV kills me. I literally feel like I'm looking through a tiny hole, so I would not recommend these glasses. Now, but the pod, however, and the portable keyboard with a trackpad is phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. It's actually very useful and can get your work done, replace a laptop. I know plenty of friends who have definitely taken just these on a work trip with them and have been perfectly fine. Now, it does not completely replace your laptop, depending on the use case for your work, but it can replace it for a lot of people. Now, what I will recommend, instead of getting the in-ear glasses with the in-ear pod workstation setup, I would recommend that you actually get the Viture Luma Ultra glasses. When it comes to work and text clarity and quality, these glasses are phenomenal. So when you have glasses, really, there is a thing called the sweet spot, which means if the text is outside of that area, so say in the corners of the screen on the glasses, it gets really fuzzy and hard to read. The Viture Luma Ultra has the largest sweet spot, which means you can look at the corners and still be able to get really clear text. This setup for my digital nomads and people who need to travel a lot for work is amazing. I do want to give you one money-saving tip. This is a pretty expensive setup. It is going to cost you around $1,000 for this. So unless you really think that you are ready to work from this type of setup, please don't waste your money. But if you are ready, this is amazing. And I do have a video talking all about it, which I'll link here and also in the description below. One more thing while we're on the Viture Luma Ultra, with the 6 degrees of freedom on here, that does mean that you can have your screens from the in-ear pod layered in front of you and you can walk around them. It is very cool and definitely very spatial computing. So while we're on the topic of spatial computing, there are 2 pairs of glasses I really need to talk about that don't necessarily fit this category at this moment, but they are definitely the future of Apple Vision Pro. One of them I already mentioned, which is the XREAL Aura. I have a lot to say about that, and I will be making a dedicated video on the XREAL Aura that is coming out at the end of this year. But I also really need to tell you about the Unseen Reality XR1 glasses. These came out of nowhere. Basically, we all showed up to AWE, which is the biggest XR conference in the world. I did show a bit of what it looks like there in this video here. If you've been on the internet, anyone and everyone is talking about XR1, this pair of glasses. They are the next evolution of the Apple Vision Pro. I think a lot of people laughed at Apple Vision Pro. They laughed at the term spatial computing, saying Apple was being snooty and why don't they just call it VR? This pair of glasses is the next evolution of spatial computing. And it's the same for the XREAL Aura and, dare I say it, the Snapchat specs that were debuted at AWE that everyone laughed at because they crushed the CEO's ear. These three are the next evolution of spatial computing, and they are amazing, and I will be talking about them so much more in the future. You may have noticed that I talked extensively about every pair of glasses here, except for one, which is the XREAL 1 Pro. I mentioned some hardware details of this, but I haven't really given anything else outside of that. That's because I just got these glasses about a week ago, but I've been moving, so I have not had time to really deeply test these out. So I will be doing that in the next coming weeks, and I will make a dedicated video evaluating this pair of glasses and also comparing it in that same video against every pair of glasses that we've talked about here. So please let me know in the comments what exactly you want to know about these so that I can keep that in mind while I'm testing. All right, we went very deep in this video. I know you all have waited a long time, so I'm glad I was finally able to give you a very rich verdict. But to recap, if you are someone who watches movies and likes to use glasses just laying down and you want the most cost-effective pair, the RayNeo Air 4 Pro is only $249. Now, if you want to be able to enjoy movies and entertainment without having to plug in your phone into a system, this Rokid Max 2 and Rokid Station combined is only $550 and often goes on sale. Now, for all of these glasses, if I have a discount code, I will add them in the description below so you can save even more. If you want the most immersive picture, highest quality glasses for gaming and for movies, and you also have a Switch 2 and are potentially obsessed with Pocopia like me, then the Viture Beast is a great choice. And these are $549. And if you want to be able to use your glasses as a full remote working station, I would recommend getting the Viture Luma Ultra paired with the in-air pod. There is so much more I can go into, but this video is long enough. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to respond and possibly make a follow-up video on this array of glasses if there is a lot more you all want to know. Make sure you subscribe for the follow-up verdict videos and I will see you in the future. Goodbye.